If you try to drag a measure in a slicer, you'll get nothing because you can't do that. But after watching this video, you'll be able to use a measure in a slicer. Let's start. You know what's the hardest thing about learning Power BI? It is translation. The ability to translate the DAX logic or the M logic or data modeling into your own scenario, your own industry with your own data is really hard. And if you learn that, that is when you have truly learned how to use Power BI into your own business setting. And that is the reason why we are launching Power BI case studies. These are case studies in HR, in logistics, in finance, in supply chain, every possible industry that you can imagine. We are going to build a case study right from scratch, understand the moving parts of that industry, how the data works, how the business logic works, and then how do you transform that into a working solution that you can implement into your own business setting. Before we begin with the solution, let's just spend 2 minutes on understanding the problem and why is a measure not possible in a slicer. Take a look at this simple pivot table that I'm working with. I have 2 columns coming from my calendar table, year and the month. Against that, I have calculated the gross margin. Now this measure, gross margin, could be any measure. It could be sales, cost, whatever measure. But for now, I have the gross margin that is there every single month. Now let's just say that I insert a slicer. So I right click on the visual, I add a slicer and convert that into a slicer visual, which is right here. Now in this particular slicer visual, let's just say that if I want to add the gross margin calculation, I click on add data and then I search for my gross margin calculation, which is right here. And if I happen to just tick on that, it is not going to be added here. Even if I happen to drag that right here, it just doesn't do that. Now there are 2 things that I'm trying to do. The first thing is that I'm trying to build a slicer here, which is where I'll see all the gross margin values. Then I can pick and choose the gross margin that I would want, and this visual should change depending upon the gross margin that I have selected. Or there could be some other calculation that you're trying to do depending upon the measure's value. That is the need that I have. The second thing that why this is not possible is that in the slicer, whatever you drag here in the slicer visual needs to be a column of a physical table. What do I mean by that? If you currently take a look at my data model, I have the products table, I have the stores table, I have the calendar table, and I have the sales table. All of these tables are physically present in the data model. I can use any of the columns from any of the tables to appear in the slicer, but not a measure. That means if I wanted to make a slicer on the month, possible because month is a column of a physical table that exists in the model. Similarly, I could have a slicer on the store name or the product name or the SKU name or whatever that might be. But because the gross margin does not happen to be a column, it is a measure cannot be dragged in the slicer. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you now. Before we start building the solution, let me lay out the 4 things or the 4 ingredients that we would need. The first thing that we would need is the ability to somehow make the slicer appear on the screen, which is where the user can select the gross margin values. Number 2, we would need to be able to define that at what granularity the filter is going to be applied. Now, even if you did not understand what I just said, I will explain that to you in just a second when we get to part number 2. The third thing is that once we have defined the granularity at which the filter is going to happen, then we need to build that as a calculation in DAX. And finally, the last thing is that I'll also talk about what are the cool applications of being able to build a slicer and what all can you do with that to enhance your model. Let's just start with our first need or first ingredient, which is building the slicer. Now, like I said at the start of the video, if you want to build a slicer, the slicer can only be built on a column of a physical table. That means I need to have a table wherein I'll have a couple of values and those values can then be attached to the gross margin calculation. Nonetheless, let's just get started and hopefully you'll understand in just a bit. Stay with me. So I'm going to go over to the modeling tab. In the modeling tab, I have the option to make a new table. And then if whatever code I write is actually going to create a physical table in the model. Why don't I switch over to the table view and help you see the table as it gets created. So again, table tools right here, make a new table. And then this is where I will write some code. Let's just call this as GM range table, but because what we are trying to define is nothing but the gross margin range. I'm going to say that I will use the formula generate series. I would want to have the gross margin anywhere between 20,000 and let's say 50,000 or maybe 60,000. And then the increment of the values are going to happen in, let's say, 5,000. right? So you start with 20 and then you go to 25, then 30, then 35, so on and so forth. I press enter and we get a series of values starting from 20,000, increment of 5,000, all the way up to 60,000. Now this happens to be a table with one single column, and now these values can be dropped in the slicer. So if I just go back right here to my visual, it is my empty slicer. In this particular slicer, if I go to the add data option, I can just go and take a look at the value column that I just created. I can check on that, and that is how my slicer looks. I can just modify my slicer to pick up one value rather than actually doing a between slicer. So I can click on the slicer, go over to the format right here. It happens to be some slicer settings. Right now this is between, which I will change it to a dropped down. Now if I actually pick up any particular value, the value gets selected. At the moment I have just made a slicer assuming that this is going to work on gross margin, but none of the slicer seems to affect any of my calculations. Let's just move on to part number 2, define the logic and the granularity of the calculation, which is the most important thing. Part number 2 is defining the granularity of the calculation, which essentially means that what is the problem that you're trying to solve for. Let me help you visually understand that what problem am I trying to solve for. If I just go over to page number 2, and if I now take a look at slightly revised visual, I yet have the year and the month, but against that I have also mentioned the name of the store, and we have the gross margins for all the stores. Now here is the problem that I'm trying to solve. Let's just say that we have a $30,000 selected in the slicer, which is right here. Now I would want to take a look at the gross margin if the gross margin exceeded a $30,000 mark. So if you take a look at all of these stores right here, whichever stores did more than $30,000 a month in gross margin, I want to take a total of all of those stores, and that is my gross margin that I would want. So 30,000 actually becomes my filter, and then my calculation somehow is to pick up these values, which is this value right here, and then if any other value is more than 30,000, that value right here, and that value right here, so on and so forth. And I want to be able to take a total of all of that. If you carefully take a look at the problem is not selecting these values just like that. The problem is defining the granularity of the calculation, which means that I am wanting to summarize my data by the year, by the month, by the name of the store, and then find which store achieved more than $30,000. So no matter what my visual is, that summarization level by year, by month, and by the store is something that I want to hard feed in the calculation. So I'm trying to take a look at monthly, yearly, and store wise, is the total more than the selected value in the slicer or not. Once you have been able to define what the granularity is, next we start to go ahead and we build the calculation that defines this granularity and feeds that in the calculation. Let me just start building that calculation and the granularity right in the measure. So I start to create a new measure called gross margin filtered or GM filtered. And to be able to set the granularity, the first thing that I will do is summarize my sales data, because my sales data is at the transactional level. However, my calculation is at the year, month, and the store level, for which I can use the function called summarize columns. In the summarize columns function, the very first summarization that I would want to have is the calendar year. That is done. Then I'd like to summarize it by the calendar month. That is done. Then I'd like to summarize it by the name of the store, even though in my current visual the name of the store is not there, but I still want to do that. So I will just write the store key right here from the stores table. And then next to that, I just want to do the gross margin calculation. So I'm just going to write GM for that. And my gross margin calculation is nothing but the gross margin. Now, this particular table is literally going to create the first column is year, second column is month, store key, and then next to that, it will calculate the gross margin. Next, on this particular table, when I'm looking at the gross margin for every single store, for every single month, in every single year, I now want to apply a filter that the value of every single store that appears in terms of gross margin is not more than this particular value, for which I can use the filter function. So I can just write filter and I can say, hey, I'm trying to filter this table right here, and my filter condition is that the GM or the gross margin that I just created needs to be greater than equal to the value which is right here, for which I can use the selected value function and I can just maybe point to the value column right here. Now this entire thing at the moment returns me a table. Now I don't really want a table. I want to sum the values where this particular condition is true, and I want to take a look at the total gross margin. So I can just wrap this entire thing around in the calculate function. And in the calculate function, I can say, hey, I'm trying to calculate gross margin, but for the gross margin, the filter happens to be this particular filter, which is right here. And once I'm done, I can just save it and I can drag this off to my visual. Let's just take a look at the result. If you right now take a look at the result, it's 85,329. I don't even know that. How can I trust this number? Is it right? Is it not right? Are all the stores doing more than 30,000 value per month per year are actually $85,000 or not? I don't know. Let's just go verify the results. If I go over to page number 2, which is where I created a sample table just to verify my answer, if I just maybe manually go and count the number of stores who have done more than 30,000 in the month of July for 2001, there is just one single store, 85,329. Now let's just go ahead and check that if I just go ahead and reduce this to perhaps maybe 25,000, this becomes 113,000. Let's just take a look if that is right or not. Go back to page number 2 and find out all the values which are more than 25,000, which only stands this value and this value. And if you do total up these values, the number is going to be 113,000. So this is working brilliantly. Let's just move on to the interesting part 4, which is what all can you do with calculations like these? If you right now take a look at the table, we have the year, month, the gross margin, and the gross margin filter depending upon the value that we have applied right here. We've been able to achieve the result, but let's just push this a bit further. Now let's just say that you go to your boss and you tell them that, hey, the entire month sale was about $190,000, and for all the stores that did more than $25,000, their gross margin is $113,000. The next question that you're getting is, how many stores are these? Can we find that out? For which I'm going to create a new measure, and I'm calling that measure as filtered store count. And literally, I'm going to use the same code that I just used a while ago, which is where I'm still summarizing the columns by year, month, store key, and the gross margin. I'm still taking a look at, is the gross margin more than the selected value applied in the slicer or not? That's my condition. But instead of doing the gross margin calculation that I did a while ago, I would rather count the number of rows there are in this particular table. So I can just wrap the entire filter around the count rows function and close the bracket in the end, and that is going to be good. I can just save this, drag this off to my visual, and we get the count of 2 stores. That means there are just 2 stores which were more than $25,000. Here is another one. Let's just say that you go up to your boss and you say that there are 2 stores who have been able to exceed $25,000 in sales and their gross margin is this much. The next question that you're going to get, who are these stores? Show me the name of the stores. Let's just go find that as well on the same pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new measure called filtered store name and essentially copy the very same logic of the calculation using summarize columns. The only difference in the summarize columns function that I have made this time is that alongside the year, the month, and the store key, which is what I need to be able to do the calculation, I have also summarize it by the store name because I want to show the name of the store and not the key, not the code of the store. So just that the 4 columns, just one extra column added, and I want to calculate the gross margin and find out if the gross margin is more than the particular thing or not. The filter function around that, start the bracket, and that's my table and that's the filter function. Next, in this table that I have created, I am going to concatenate the values of all the stores that remain. So for which I can use a very simplistic CONCATENATEX function. So I can say something like CONCATENATEX. In CONCATENATEX, the first part is the table, and here is the table that I have created. In this particular table, the only thing that I would like to concatenate is the name of the store. Sure enough, we have that right here. So I'm just going to call that as my store name. And then when the store names gets concatenated, I want, if there are more than 1 stores, I want that move to the next row. So for that, I can use the unicharacter as 10. That means move that to the next row, which is nothing but the delimiter. And that is pretty much my calculation. I'm going to save this calculation and I'm going to move that calculation off to my visual, and that is what I get. Now, you are seeing the 2 stores that actually have more than $25,000 of sales value, which is nice. And if I just increase that to a $30,000, you only see one particular store. Now, let's just say that this is getting a bit untidy because here you have 15 stores, and I don't really want to have all these 15 stores right here at the total level. You can anyway see all of these stores on the month level. So I need to remove this particular thing. Let's just go modify our DAX slightly. So I'm going to say that in this particular calculation, this is only going to happen once you are taking a look at the month in the context. How do we say that? I'm going to say if, start the bracket, in scope calendar month, and I just forgot to close the bracket in here. Then I want to do the calculation. Otherwise, I do not really want to do that calculation. All right, I'm just going to save this and let's just see what happens. And now once we have used the in scope function, this actually removes the calculation at the total level, but it does show the calculation at the month level. And this is pretty damn awesome. If you noticed, everywhere in our calculation, we wrote a long summarize columns function to be able to create a table and then apply filters on top of that table. Is there a way that we can store that table in a measure and then have it uniformly called across all the measures? The answer is yes. And for that, you'll have to watch my next video. I'll see you there.